Move over American Rye. This right here is an Irish Rye Manhattan. Let me show you how to make it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the Whiskey Nerd, and like I said, this week we're making an Irish Manhattan because we're using Powers 100% Irish Rye. Now, if you didn't catch my review of the Powers Rye, there'll be a link down below. I'll put a link up there for you to click on. But it is a very nice Irish rye whiskey and it is made with 100% Irish grown rye. It has also been aged in different kind of casks than you might expect for a standard kind of American rye whiskey. So an American rye has to be aged in virgin oak casks, but this was aged in a variety of virgin oak, first fill and second fill casks. So it's a bit softer, it's a bit sweeter, it's definitely much more approachable than some of those standard rye whiskies. It also comes in at 43.2%, so it is lower in ABV than some of those other kind of rye whiskies. So it is definitely a softer, more approachable whiskey. So in order to kind of keep the Manhattan cocktail balanced, we're going to be using Bianco vermouth instead of that normal kind of Rosso red sweet vermouth. So Bianco vermouth, it's nice, it's still got all those classic kind of vermouth notes to it, but it is that little bit sweeter, that little bit kind of softer and more approachable, which does pair very well with the Powers Rye whiskey. Also be using a little bit of Angostura bitters, a little bit of orange bitters, and finishing off with some maraschino cherries for that classic Manhattan look. So that's enough talking, let's get to making our cocktail. It is going to be a stirred drink, so we're going to get a mixing glass and we're going to pop a nice rock of ice in there before we measure out the rest of our ingredients. We're going to start off with our vermouth. We're going to go in with 30 ml or 1 ounce of this Bianco sweet vermouth, which is going to give us very nice spicy notes, but still be sweet enough to partner well with that Powers Rye whiskey. Speaking of the Powers Rye whiskey, we're going to be going in with 60 ml or 2 ounces of the Powers Irish Rye whiskey, which just gives us a nice bit of flavor, a nice bit of spice, but is a bit softer and a bit more approachable for people who drink these types of cocktails. For our bitters, we're going to go in with Angostura bitters. We're going to go in with 2 dashes, 2 of Angostura bitters, and we're going to follow up with a little bit of orange bitters, maybe not even a full dash of orange bitters, just a few little drops in there just to give us a nice bit of kind of accent on the cocktail without overpowering or taking away from the other ingredients. Now we're going to stir that down for about 30 seconds just to get everything nice and cold. Okay, I think that is nicely chilled and I can feel from the outside of the glass that it is nicely chilled now. So we're going to get ready to strain it out into a very nice coupe glass. So we're just going to go straight into it. I'm just going to pour away nicely and just right there, but we're not finished yet because we're going to finish it off with a garnish of some maraschino cherries. We're just going to get a little spear of maraschino cherries, pop that on there. A little bit of that kind of marasca syrup from those cherries is going to drip in and give us some extra flavor into the cocktail. And that right there is an Irish Rye Manhattan. Now real quick before I taste this cocktail, I put out whiskey reviews on Wednesdays, I put out whiskey cocktails on Fridays, so if you're new here, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. While you're there, leave me a comment to let me know what kind of cocktail you'd like to see me make next. Now, let's taste this Irish Rye Manhattan. That's just lovely. That is very nice and kind of lighter. Now, it's still a classic Manhattan note. You've got that whiskey, you got that rye, you got the bitters, you got the vermouth, you got the little bit of cherry syrup coming off these cherries, but it's just that little bit lighter, that little bit more kind of fresh and fragrant. I'm very glad that I used the Bianco vermouth in this because, like I said, the Powers Rye is that bit softer, is that bit kind of sweeter than a standard rye whiskey. So I had tried it with kind of sweet red vermouth and it did overpower the cocktail. The Bianco vermouth, it just melds nicely to it and it actually makes the cocktail a lot more approachable. So some people don't really like Manhattans because they think they're very strong, they're kind of almost overpowering or too tart, but this is just very nice and very easy to enjoy the cocktail. I mean, if you like the sound of this cocktail, you should definitely give it a try. Me, I'm going to keep on enjoying it and I will see you next time. Sláinte.